So we did a project, it's called Residential. Good project, people bought. But we did another project. When we were going to do another project, even before it was in the market, we got like 2 oil companies to buy. I actually did the sale, and then they almost bought half of the whole thing. How did they buy? Because this is B2B, right? So when you're selling to one client that wants to give you millions, like 20 million, 40 million, it's a different ballgame. When you're doing with an oil company that wants to give you billions of naira, it's another different ballgame. So they look at different things, right? So that your client wants to look at the brochure, the property, and stuff, right? And be satisfied, probably even pay, right? But these companies, of course, they've looked at but they want to look, who are the people behind the project? Who are the people, who are the board of directors? Which company do you want to, who's handling the legal? Who are your banking partners? Who are all of these things? What have you done before? Thank you. So now, we then ticked all of the boxes. But most of the time, I'll tell you something today. I told you when we were coming here today, if I prepare a business plan, I will not make it perfect. I'll put little while out there, I put it there for you. I know when you're smart, you see it. And I know my answer. So what I put there, I want you to ask me. And I have the perfect answer for you. You know what? Because when you're perfect, it's actually a red flag also for investors. If someone sits in my office, right, and I'm sat there and someone comes and pitch and say this, and I will not tell you, please, can you tell me about your failures? What are the things that you've done that didn't go well? I mean, just tell me what. And I say, no, there's no failure. Okay. It's red flag. First of all, we are not robots. We are humans, and humans fail, and we make mistakes. And then you should be able to tell people about your failures, about how you didn't get something right. But most importantly, when you didn't get that thing right, I learned from this, and I was able to do this, and then we did this, and then we made this. To be very honest, I won't lie to you that people still invest by emotions. You just say, look, let him do it. Let him do it. Do you understand? But if you don't want to get investment that way, you want to be very confident and they chase you with money, you have to get your work, tick all your boxes. Yeah. So, Boki, so let me round up on that one. So I said that B2B sales, most of the time also, is 50% corporate governance, corporate profile of that company than, the actual product itself. To be honest, apart from the businesses that I've run, I've also consulted for a few. And then usually most of the problem is raising money and then sales. Most of the time that's the problem. Raising money and sales. Actually, most of the time that's the problem. But is there really solutions to this problem? First of all, I want someone to tell me who is someone right there that has more than 10 staff. 10 staff. You have more than 10 staff. You have more than 10 staff. Do you have a CFO? But you have an accountant. So you have an accountant. Yes. Okay. So your accountant is your CFO. Right, tell me, you have a CFO? Consultants. Oh, that consult for you. Okay, tell me the last advice.
To pay more attention to cash flow, revenue.
That's a bad CFO. I'm sorry to say, but yeah, you should know to pay more. How much do you even have that you don't pay attention to your cash flow? Okay, so you should know. Dangote, don't pay attention to cash flow. You should know. Yeah, there's no amount of money. Look, you're a business owner. You have to pay attention to your cash flow. If the cash flow really stops and don't come quick in 2 days, I know that something is wrong, because I know I'm very much aware. I'm very much in check with my finances. With our finances, I don't need CFO or accountant, anybody to tell me that, look, something is wrong. We need to change strategies. See, but what I want to tell you first of all is that an accountant is different from a CFO. Their job is even different. I will not explain to you. When you get home, I want you to go and research about it. An accountant is different from a CFO. And then you are the CEO, right? These are people that should be your best friend. Well, when you're running a big, your CFO, your legal person, maybe your doctor and pastor, to be honest, if you're a Christian. But first of all, I want to tell you that the accountants is different. Companies face problem raising money or knowing what to invest in and when, how to. You should be actually investing for your company as well. So your company, you're making money, right? Project probably wouldn't come every time. You are supposed to invest for your company the same way you're investing for yourself. You're supposed to know when to diversify across assets, within assets, invest in equity with the shares, invest in bonds, all of those things. In fact, when you invest for your companies, it makes you set up strategic partnership, and then one time we were in the market for bonds, right? FBN Quest was in the market for bonds. They were raising money at 7% or 8%. We were raising money at 14%. They were our biggest investor. So one day I went to FMDQ website. I saw them. I called Shay. I said, Shay, this is crazy. These people are giving, they're like our biggest investors. They're raising money. So it doesn't stop you from raising money. It doesn't stop them from raising money. What they're doing is what on lending. They're getting cheap capital and giving us a bit more expensive. How do they profit? From the spread. From the 7% to the 14%. That's how they profit. So the amount of money they need to do the project, they inject it to the project. But the amount of money they don't need that time, they put in a credible company as investment. Simple. So you should always be investing as a company as well. These are things that your CFO should tell you. Accountant is just, profit and loss, balance sheet. And then balance sheet and, pay salaries and stuff, You should have a CFO, especially when you have your staff strength that is more than 10. Do a lot of courses, read, use 80, I don't want to say 100%. Your brain, you have to put it in the maximum capacity. You read, you invest in yourself. Most of the things that are valuable are not cheap, so you have to spend money. And then you also have to spend your money on your people. You're probably your line managers, your immediate people that report to you, right? So when you do that, automatically you will see the effect, the resultant effect in your company. So first of all, right, when you then want to start, or when you have started, a lot of us have started, you can start by, I usually always say that the cheapest form of capital is what? Customers' money. It's like, okay, we want to launch Ituno City, right? But 2 oil companies has bought into Ituno City before launch, right? So that means that the Ituno City project will take, 7 billion. But before we go to the market or to site at all, we already have like 3 billion. That's cheap. I've collected the money before we even start the project. That's cheap. That's the best. But guess what? For starters, they might not really trust you. The reason why they're able to give us 3 billion to do our project before launch is because we have the brand equity, we have the corporate profile, we have everything. But let's say a new company, a 5-month or 12-month-old company, let's say you want to launch something now. This is it. You have to then learn how to form consortium. We call it consortium. So ACE can then say, Veritasi, you know what? I want to build inside Ituno Residential. So I take ACE to the market to say, look, we have done Ituno Residential. It's well. This guy, I believe in his ability. He wants to launch bungalow project inside Ituno Residential. Buy from him. See, that's now consortium. It's Veritasi partnering with ACE. So you are leveraging on Veritasi's brand equity to go to the market to get customers' money, which is the cheapest to start. However, let's say you can't get that. You should be able to attract equity finance or debt finance. When you say debt, it looks like a big word. When we were in Ibadan that year, debt is basic. Basic, and stuff. But guess what? You have to get basic to actually grow very fast. I said something. I'm not supposed to say, but I'll say it. Well, normally, companies will call valuer to value their company, PwC, all of these people. But I can do the valuation because I learned it. So I did the valuation of our company before we raised our first money. Valuation means, of course, your total assets minus total, everything you have, the land, house, this. We were struggling for 5 billion. See? And then we started raising money. And we started raising money. And then I think maybe last 3 months, we called, do the valuation of the assets, the everything and then we shot more than 100 billion. What has happened in just 2-3 years? If we were trading with your money, with your own money, and then you're not going for debt, you're not taking any money, you would have grown very slowly. If you do the projection, the curve, let's say we're trading with our own money, probably right now be worth like another 10 or 15 billion if we did so well as companies, right? But because you're able to use OPM or other people's money, you can then double or triple or quadruple the valuation. The only thing is, what I'm trying to tell you is, all of the things that you want to achieve in your life, right? All of the things, all of the projects that you want to do, you cannot do it with just your money. You need other people's money. All of the things. The amount of houses you want to own, the amount of anything that you want to get for your company, the amount of valuation, everything that you... Look, why is Flutterwave worth 1 billion USD then and went back to the market to raise 250 million USD equity? So then take their valuation to 3 billion USD. Why? Why are they not satisfied that, 1 billion USD? 1 billion USD is a lot of valuation. Why? Why did they? And guess what? They're going back to the market. I have that information. Their next valuation will probably be 10 billion. Yes, to raise more money. Because all of the projects they want to do, all of the things they want to achieve, all of the staffing, all of the market penetration, all of, you want to now take South Africa, want to now take Kenya, we need other people's money. So our operational money, the money that we have to operate, it's cheaper, it's easier for us to raise money to do all of those things than using our operational money. Because if we raise equity, then we're sharing the risk and we're sharing the reward, right? Good. So now you need other people's money for every other thing that you want to achieve ever in your life. Now we talked about sales, we'll talk about equity, we'll talk about debt. I'll talk about, you see, when you want to start your business, I think it's easier. Not easier, it's what's the word? It's safer. It's safer to start with equity finance. It's safer because what you need to do then is just to get a bit of dilution. You get diluted a bit, your shares, and then you get money. So the investors, take a bit of share. If anything happens, they go down with you. If you go down, if you go up, they go up with you, right? When you take debt to start a business, it puts the CEO and a lot of people under pressure, and it's not very good for your balance sheet. So it's actually safer. There are few kind of debts that you can attract, every time. A lot of people don't know this. When people talk about debt, they always think, it's going to the bank. Actually, the bank money is the most expensive kind of debt, especially in Nigeria. What I'm trying to tell you is, anyhow you are going to do it, make sure that your cash flow, if anybody checks it, because the banks don't even know, right? Anybody checks it, it's huge number. Guess what? Not only the bank check it, even the investors. They first of all ask you, what did you do as revenue? What did you do as revenue? If you say 600, so if they ask her, what did you do as revenue? She says 600 million. And you say 6 billion. Automatically, I'm turning towards you. Right? And then you have good corporate profile, good business plan. Your business plan will tell the bank or anybody about the future of your business. Audited account or the management account that tells the people about the past of the business. They want to see both. So they want to see the past, they want to see. But most importantly, the cash flow is very much important. Yeah, so this is actually a bit... so for bank loans, to be honest, what are the things that you need to approach? First of all, when you have done your cash flow very well, and then you need very good relationship with your bankers, with the MD, with your account officer, all of those people, and then the last time you prepared a business plan, who prepared it for you? Yourself. Who prepared yours? So even if you prepare your your business plan yourself, the people that should sign it should not be yourself. Right? Good. So in the markets, right, we know, all of us know, the banks know, the investors know the people that are credible. So if I want to go to the capital market again, I'm going with my legal arm is maybe TMP or Templars or, you know why? Or detail solicitor, you know why? Because these people are already known in the market. It's a consortium. Usually raising money is consortium, right? So if I want to go to the market again, let's say the capital market, my legal work should be done by a team. In fact, sometimes we use double solicitor to make it very strong. See, all of these things are paperwork. You have to know how to do it. Yeah? So we use double solicitor. So we say this is prepared by what? Our deed of conveyance, deed of conveyance is prepared by detail solicitor and TMP, or detail solicitor and Templars. In the market, they are already known. If you go and use Shekoni and Co, they are very much likely not to give you money. Why? Because they think that Shekoni and Co don't have a lot of things to lose. Why Templars have a lot of things to lose? Because of their reputation in the market. Number one. Number two, when you prepare audited accounts and management account, if I give PwC to give do my audit, you always think that these things are very expensive. They are not expensive. And guess what? Some of them get their money at success. So you can negotiate that. So you can say, look, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to raise 5 billion naira. If you're going to get this money, I want to give you 2 million naira now but I'll pay you the money as success. They will accept. That's how I actually pay. So I know that they will always accept. But there is no audited account business plan that you put to PwC, despite the fact that all the information that will be there, you're the one that will supply them, that any investor in Nigeria would not respect. So you have your cash flow projection, you have your business plan, you have your management accounts, audited accounts, different things telling you about the past and your corporate profile, your business profile, the CEO's profile, some of the things that they didn't even ask you, put it. Bank loans for investors, HNI raising, anything, almost all of the time you get the money. What I'm trying to tell you is, form a consortium, give the people that are experts in their various fields things to do. Don't go, they say, why would you prepare business? Are you a business planner? Why are you preparing your business plan yourself? You are the owner of the business, yes. You tell them what to prepare. They prepare everything, they're using cash projection, they put their name, stamp on it, yes. In fact, you do it to the stage that if you're trying to get a legal document to the capital market to raise money, why are you using Olisa Agbakuba? Olisa Agbakuba, meanwhile, is a big firm, in the legal world, but they're not known in the market. In the capital market, they're not known. Why are you using Olaonipekun? It's big, but they're not known in the market, right? Their expertise is not on this field, right? It's not in capital raising. Right? So as soon as you get into the market, and even me, if I'm the investor, let's say I'm trying to buy a commercial paper of a particular company, and I check their document and I see Templars, CMP, and so on, I'm calm, right? And I see something prepared by PwC, I'm calm also. The business plan, or the account, and I see management accounts, and I see their tax, stuff, and I see a lot of things. If you then want to finish the whole thing, let me tell you something. If you're a real estate company, if you're any kind of company, we still raise money for logistic company. This is what we do. So when you go to the markets, and that's why you always have to have assets. And I think that that assets can be rented. You can rent an asset to get a loan. Yeah? Good. Now that you know that, it just makes your money more expensive. So usually, let's say you're taking the loan at 20%, and then you've rented an asset for another 3%. So your total money would then be 23%. Which the person that I've rented asset to people before, so it's normal thing. So 3% then goes to the person that rent you an asset. See, let's say you don't even need to rent the asset, and you want to go and collect money. So if you go to say FMDQ website or NSD, all of this, you see, if you see bonds, you see secured bonds, unsecured bonds. Do you know the difference between secured bond and unsecured bond? So a secured bond is, let's say, a bond that is backed up with a BG, a bank guarantee from a bank. So meaning that a bank is saying that we're guaranteeing this transaction. If anything happens, come to us. However, because banks are not eager to give BGs, because of course, if I'm guaranteeing you, why should I not take the risk myself? That's what they think. Like, instead of me giving you a BG to collect the money, why can I not give you the money? Because if anything happens, anyway, you're coming back to me today. So what we then do is, take our assets together. We call people like maybe Ubosi, LA and stuff for valuation. You do the valuation, you give to a trustee. Trustee writes you a letter that this guy has an asset worth this amount of money. If anything happens, come to me. We'll sell the asset and pay you back. Then we call it a what? Asset-backed bond or asset-backed risk. Do you understand that? Is it very? How do I go back? Okay, you know what? I'm only trying to explain bank loans and bonds and promissory notes and crowdfunding as a form of debt. So what I'm trying to say is there's a way you can position yourself for debt. That you can position yourself for debt. You know, we've talked about corporate governance. We've talked about corporate profile. We've talked about all of them, which is number one. Yeah? We've talked about business plan. We know that if you're dealing with the bank or anybody in capital market, they look at your cash flow. So we've talked about how to outsmart the system to make sure that you have very good cash flow, revenue, right? So now that you have done all of that, how do you then go? See, let me tell you something that you need to know. If I give you money for the first time, say 1 billion naira, and then you return my money to me, and then you again come to the market the second time and guess what? I'll give you first again. That's why people that are already attractive in the market, they get more money. In fact, people would offer them more money. People will even wait to say, don't worry, we'll wait. When he's ready to get money, we'll fund him, right? Than this guy. Do you understand? Which is new, right? That's what trust. So we're saying that how do you go to the market? Because the first time you go to the market, the first time you go to collect your loan, the first money that you're taking is the hardest money. It's the hardest money. The first money, the first debt, the first investment is the hardest. It's like taking a risk. So, have you collected the loan for? No. So in my head, I'm like, why has any bank not given this? If you are that, you did 3 billion last year, you did 4 billion upper year, you are doing 6 billion this year. Why has anyone not given you money? So they are more careful. The same way when you go for visa interviews, and then you've collected one visa before. It's your first visa interview that is voila, they ask you different questions. And I want you to know that not when you need money that you position yourself for debt or equity raising. Not when you need money. You have to, from the start of your business, from now, you have to position yourself. Do your corporate governance, your business plan, update it, your cash flow projections, your audited account, your management account, everything, every time has to be updated. You know, because if I read a business plan that is done last week or last 2 weeks, not updated last 2 weeks, that is done last 2 weeks, for the investment I'm about to give, I always know. What is a bond? You want to tell me something?
Bonds are financial instruments raised by or used by companies to raise capital from the public.
Thank you. Almost there. Usually, a bonds are instruments that are used by corporate, companies. But however, not just companies use bonds. Also, government use bonds. See, so when you go to the market to buy treasury bills, does anyone have treasury bills here? When you go to the market to buy treasury bills, then now that's the bond. That's a way of the government raising money, getting debt from the public to do a project. So when you buy the treasury bills, if it's from the primary market, they give you your interest first, and then you get your. However, bonds are what? Tradable assets. For example, a commercial paper or a promissory note, which are types of bond, right? A bond it's like something, like a bond, something bonding you, right? So you go to the market, you get money for projects, right? And then, actually, when we did our commercial paper as well, we gave them the interest upfront, and usually the capital is supposed to. So these are debt instruments. Let's say we raised a 10 billion naira bond, and he has invested 1 billion naira, and then we raised at 14%. We would have collected what's 14%, 140 million at investment, and the 1 billion at maturity, which is a commercial paper is 270 days, right? So what I'm saying now is, see that certificate with him, is a good certificate. It's collateral enough, and it's tradable in the secondary market. If he needs his money before that 1 year, he can then trade it. Do you understand? Depending on how well the bond is actually really doing. so you can trade. So usually when government do bonds, sometimes, it's a note, it take like 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But when companies do bonds, companies do 5 years, 6 years. There are different kind of bonds, Sukuk bonds. Sukuk is Islamic bond, if I'm right. A commercial paper is 270 days. That's short-term bonds. But what I'm telling you now is I'm not telling you from the side of the investor. I'm telling you from the side of the person that wants to go raise money in the market. So if you want to raise money in the market, these are some of the things that investors will ask you. All of the things that the banks have asked you, the audited, all of those, they will ask you that. They will then also ask you more, because who is guaranteeing this bond? No, you have to know that the bonds are also raised in the market, in an exchange. If it's a public or private company in Nigeria, I think it's FMDQ and NASDAQ. Yeah, thank you. God bless you. So in the FMDQ, if you go to FMDQ platform now, you'll see all of the companies that are raising money. Dangote, MTN. I think Dangote is on for 300 billion bonds, 5 years. You see some companies 900 billion and all, So what does the investors want to see? First of all, your profile, your corporate profile. If Dangote goes to the market to raise money at 7 or 8%, people give it to him because, look, it's Dangote anyway, it's big. Probably even richer than Nigeria itself, So easily it's easier. But companies like yourself, what do you need to go to the market? So I'm saying that you go as a consortium. You allow people to take you to the market. So you go with a trusted solicitor, or probably even 2 trusted solicitors. You go with a bank to give you a bank guarantee. You go with people like PwC to give you a good business plan and audited accounts. You go with all of your things. But let's say in the case that banks then think like, why would I give you a bank guarantee when I can actually lend the money to you there? The reason why you should choose a bond over bank loans is, during COVID year, I think people were raising money at 7%. Bonds. Yeah, 7%. Single digit in Nigeria. Fact. Even after COVID 2020, people were raising money at 11%. We raised money at 14%. But bank will give you 23, 25%. So the difference, that's the reason. That's enough reason to say, look, bank, I don't want your money. I want to raise money from the capital market. But if you're not able to get the bank guarantee, so this is what I said, what we then do is, if you don't have an asset, you rent an asset, right? But if you have an asset, you put that asset, you value all of your assets by a valuer. Sometimes, but you value your assets, you then give that your asset to a trustee. Do you know what a trustee is? Darren, I think you need to end this session. People are already bored. Because before people were following me, but now I think everything is confusing. I was not saying that if there is no bank guarantee, because when you have a bank guarantee, that means you are going to the market to raise a secured money. It's faster because it's secured. There's something I forgot. If you must raise a bond, right? If you must, you need what? A credit rating. You need a credit rating. A credit rating in Nigeria, SEC licensed credit rating agency is what's the third one? GSC, have you? Is it GSC or something? General Connect. Huh? You have to find a way. Just, So you need a credit rating. So what the credit rating is saying. So first of all, when you want to raise money anywhere, like I told you last 2 months, we were in England trying to raise money. The first thing that we were trying to do is to get our credit rating out. I remember 2 minutes more. Okay, and then I remember that when we got to, I'm sure some of you are familiar with S&P, and then and Fitch. You know what's S&P? Standard & Poor's and the Fitch. So they're also credit rating agencies. And then, so when countries want to raise money from the capital market, they go to these people because they are countries, right? So when we went to S&P and Fitch, what they told us first was, because Nigeria is running on triple B, they are raising money on triple B. Triple B means fear. Say this country, or this company, you can invest. They have fear. Their risk profile is fair, not excellent. Not like they're excellent, it's fair. Actually, we raise money with triple B, so triple B. So when we went to S&P and Fitch, they told us that, look, are you sure you want to go through this rating? Because Nigeria is a country that you've come from, they have just triple B. And then no country from a country can get a better rating than the country. Do you understand that? Yeah. So it's like Nigeria is running on triple B. If we are going to rate you, it's going to be less than triple B. If it's less than triple B, we won't be able to get money from the market, especially not in Europe. So we left S&P and Fitch. Look, these people are very expensive. I think it's like 100,000 euros. So we went to meet Scope ratings. We went to meet Scope because we saw their profile. They rated a bank called Santander. Santander is a Spanish bank, right? Santander is a Spanish bank that doing better than Spain as a country. So Spain as a country have not very good, I can't remember, maybe triple B minus rating. But Santander then got a better rating than Spain as a country that they come from. So we went to meet Scope, and then our argument was, look, you gave Santander a better rating than Spain that you rated. How are you able to do that? You're not like Fitch and S&P. And they're like, yeah, they do not believe that a company cannot do better than the country with which it's come from. So we went to meet them, to give us ratings. We're undergoing the rating number. What I'm trying to tell you is, when you want to raise money in the capital market, bonds, anyway, in fact, it's good. When you have money, go to DataPro. Just give them all your documents. Tell them to rate you as a company. They will give you, unbiased. DataPro or Gusto, or GSC, any one of them. But I advise you to go to DataPro first. Because they are still more, they're like Jonathan. All these ones are worried, So you go, it gives you more unbiased. So they rate your company on what? Liquidity, on the corporate governance, on the management, on operation, on some of the things, right? I would have read some of the things that they wrote to us if there was time, when we got our triple rating. And number one thing is credit rating. Actually, that's number one thing in the capital market. In the capital market, number one thing is credit rating. And then you take the credit rating, then see, as soon as you get a good credit rating, because they would announce, they put on their website, as soon as you get a good credit rating, anywhere in the world, if it's in Nigeria, if it's in Europe, anywhere, as soon as you get a good rating, investors are started writing you. In fact, let me tell you, the last one, we didn't know that we got a good credit rating. They put it on our website. We didn't know yet. And then I got like letters from 2 or 3 investors already, trying to invest, like, what are you people doing? And I remember when we went to Scope 2, Scope was telling us that, look, you are the first African real estate company that will come to us. There must be a kind of confidence that, because if you have a bad rating, they will post it too. So there must be a kind of confidence, and and then we went back. What we did was, we told them to give us 7 real estate companies that they've rated, that's gotten good rating, and then they went back. We were in London with my team, and then we read about those companies, some of the things that they've done right, some of the things that they're wrong, and then we prepare our business plan and tailored it towards, and then did all of those, packaging and put our formal rating and so on, and we submitted, hoping that we'll get, if we get a better rating, we'll not talk about it. Maybe they'll post it in Europe, but you people won't know. But when we get a good rating, we'll shout about it and we'll raise money. See? And that's the same thing that happened when we came to DataPro to raise money. And when you get credit, you can get, anybody can get it. This is not, it's not about anybody can approach any credit rating agency for credit rating. You can, even if you're not ready to raise money from the capital market, but you can. This is not, this is, you can. Just approach them, you pay, they give you the rating, even if it's not good. If it's not good, guess what? They will tell you the reason why your credit rating is poor. Then you then go to work on that. But let me tell you something. All of these things I've told you, if you do it, you get a good credit rating. If you have a very wonderful cash flow, if you have a good corporate governance, your board of advisors, everything is nice, a good audited accountant stamped by PwC, your management team is, you have pictorial evidence of, you've been showing me 2 minutes more for the past 20 minutes. What's happening? Okay, you know what? I'll continue from where I stopped, right? It's all right, let's go and eat. Let's go.